So tell us, Kefilwe, if you had to name the unseen parts, what chapters would people be surprised to find?
The chapters people would be surprised to find out in my journey would be that I still have moments when I am afraid. I still have moments where I'm uncertain about the path. I still have moments where I'm in disbelief, actually, at how the vision of giving wings has transpired and the lives that we get to impact on a daily basis. The early days of giving wings involved a lot of work in my 1-bedroom apartment. I used to call that the headquarters of giving wings. And during critical moments when we were running programs, that 1-bedroom apartment of mine would be filled with certificates, manuals, printers. And even though I still remember it was an LTE router, we made the vision possible. One of the bravest things I have ever done is leaving the comforts of a great corporate job to pursue the path of entrepreneurship, letting go of what I know into the wilderness of uncertainty. What I've learned over the years is that leaders need to be brave to lean into the discomfort of the conversations with our people, the discomfort of challenging the status quo of how things have been done. And if we're truly deriving value from the system, deriving value from the policies that have been developed that at times are not leading an organization in the right direction. Leadership requires individuals to be vulnerable enough to say, I don't have all the answers, and I'm willing to travel a journey of unlearning so that I can learn what will set me apart. Leadership is going to require us to be agile and literally adapt to this very dynamic economy that we find ourselves operating in, with so much geopolitical influence, that if we're not abreast of these trends, we will find ourselves not being able to even survive in the times that we are operating in. Sometimes you have to risk the fall to know how it feels like to just truly fly.
Sure, that's actually quite profound. That's amazing. And when you walk into certain rooms, like you said, about a month ago, you were taken away, but, by being in Ethiopia and running a women in leadership program, when you walk in certain rooms, what conversations are happening?
The conversations that I'm honored to be a part of or honored to be leading are conversations about human development. They are conversations of how do we unleash the greatness within leaders, within young professionals, within women who at times have just limited themselves and their aspirations and the value that they have to bring in the spaces that they operate in. And I'm intentional. I'm intentional about using my expertise, my experience, and my passion for leadership development to be at the forefront of igniting and developing world-class leaders. Our reality is that women are the architects of society. Each and every person that exists here on this earth was born and brought into this world by a woman. And therefore, we need to prioritize the growth, the development of women.
Amazing. And, you speak of bravery, and right now, haven't been in business for this long. One would say it looks so easy. It looks so overnighty, quote unquote. And I just want you to share with us, have there been moments where being brave has cost you something? And if so, what gave you the courage to keep on going?
I make it look easy. If
Yeah.
only you knew what happens behind closed doors. This journey is hard. This journey has pushed everything in me. I've watched myself operate from minimum sleep because the deliverables had to be met. And I'm sitting with designers and printers before we go live with a program. And after having an hour or 2 hours of sleep, you're having to dab on makeup because your eyes are just so dark and you are tired and sleep deprived, but you still have to show up. This journey has seen me manage cash flow. And at times you're having to have real and honest conversations, especially in the early days of the entrepreneurship journey with suppliers and say to them, can we look at a payment plan because I'm waiting on this payment. This journey has seen me literally, as I shared, in the early days, working from my 1-bedroom apartment. Talk about privacy. There's no privacy. Your fellow team members are in your space. But knowing what the vision is and knowing what the intention and purpose, all those challenges are overridden because it's all about the impact. So it hasn't been easy, and it's still not easy. A decade going on 11 years later into it, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still finding my way, more anchored, more wiser, more intentional about it. But it's never easy. If it was easy, we'd all be doing it. Everyone would be an entrepreneur. But there's a cost, there's a price tag. There's a price tag that comes with the journey. And I paid the price tag, and I continue to pay that price tag.
Sure. And does Kefilwe have a gloomy day? What does it look like to be brave on the days where you're not unsure and you're not feeling it?
I'm human. I do have gloomy days. I do get irritated. I do get sad. I do get overwhelmed. And when those feelings arrive, I sit in them and I feel them and I acknowledge them. And if I have to cry, I cry. If I have to get on a call at times with my dad or my sister about what it is that I'm going through, I reach out to my close community and I have those conversations. And once that's done, I sit with myself and I say, let's get up. Let's remember the why. Let's remember the why. Because you can't sit in the challenge. You can't sit in the frustration. You have to pick yourself up. I am not a trust fund baby. I don't have those luxuries. You, Kefilwe, are on your own. You have to get up. My dad always says to me, "Bophelo bo ke ntwa." This life is a fight for you to achieve, be, and do anything that you set your mind to. You need to be willing to fight. And sometimes that fight starts in the mind. Sometimes that fight is to get out of bed when that sadness and the challenges are overwhelming you. And you have to fight by confronting it. Confronting if one is having cash flow challenges, confronting the people challenges, confronting the growth challenges that come with running a business. It is really about the confrontation and confronting it with a depth of bravery.
Is bravery exclusive to wisdom, or does it go hand in hand with wisdom?
I'm an advocate for bravery, leaning into the discomfort, saying yes to opportunities, even though you meet 45 to 55% of the criteria or the requirements. But what I'm also passionate about is that we have to be brave, but also apply wisdom. We cannot make decisions carelessly without understanding the ramifications of those decisions. So when I look at my journey, where 10 years ago, I left the comforts of my corporate job to follow the path of entrepreneurship, I also applied wisdom of analyzing, what if this doesn't work? Let me pursue my master's degree, because then with my master's degree, I could perhaps then be a lecturer. The wisdom of ensuring that I've got sufficient funds available on this journey of being an entrepreneur, because not every client that I pitch to will say yes to the business opportunity. And therefore, I need to have the financial reserves. And too many times, I see individuals who want to be brave and they make their next brave move, but they're not applying the wisdom. They are not analyzing the repercussions of whatever decision that they're making. And most importantly, taking ownership of the decision that you make. Because the reality is this: it is your life. You have to be responsible for the decisions that you make in life. It is unfair for me to now make the decision of being an entrepreneur and then expecting my parents to be there to be my saving grace, or my siblings. I need to take full ownership of the path that I am on. I'm passionate about helping women understand that we don't exist in isolation. The ability for humans to progress within their careers, within society, is going to need all genders. And at the core of achieving that success is about leveraging on one's bravery. And I've learned that bravery has no gender. So how are we intentional about broadening the conversation with both genders, male and female, to understand how we leverage off each other's unique strengths and capabilities to move organizations, people, society, our African continent even further?
And what do you wish more women knew about bravery, especially the kind that doesn't go viral but still shifts nations?
I really wish more women could trust themselves. I really wish more women could realize the power that truly lies within them. This power that has been able to birth nations, birth presidents, birth communities. And we tapped into that power and trust in ourselves. And we showed up with that in the world. And it's not a power that is aggressive. It's not a power that's overwhelming. Sometimes it's that power that is subtle. That's power that is assertive. That power that defines the terms, that power that is confident and prepared when you go into that business meeting. You do your homework, you understand your numbers. When you're going in for that interview, the preparation that comes with it, or when it comes to leading a team and building an organization, it's trusting that power and that strength that lies within you.
So, Kefilwe, tell us, what's next in the bravery list?
So what's next for me, in terms of my next brave move, is I'm really looking forward to wholeheartedly living and, God be willing, birthing life, having a family, slowing down a little bit, because my 20s, and it was only at the age of 25 where I became a full-time entrepreneur. I've dedicated a lot of my 20s to building the business, defining myself as the woman that I am. And now my next brave move is that it is building a family, enjoying life, spending time a lot with my parents, my siblings, and just living according to my terms.